is being recorded.
Hello, everyone. Before I will welcome back wonderful Ashala with me tonight, or today, depends where you are and you're watching. I just want to say that I am very, very excited about this conversation today because I finally had this moment of, aha, this is actually the history we are living in right now. Now, what I will talk about, you see in the title, but Ashala doesn't know yet. I want to start with this. Today at 2:30 p.m. East Coast time, New York time, Jerome Powell, I'm not going to say what I think, but Jerome Powell, the chair of the Federal Reserve of United States, will give an announcement addressing the March and spike in the interest rates. So the whole world is waiting. The stock market is going bananas in both directions. Gold up and down, was up, now is down. They push it. I just checked the fake word. And we have the crypto situation. Why I'm saying all of this? First disclaimer, this is not financial advice. We are here two intuitive people, Ashala, incredibly gifted with her tarot cards and her inner knowings, and me with my own downloads and my questions. We are here to find some answers to what is actually going on with the cryptocurrency world, which I had finally a moment of realizing how important this is. Yeah. And prior to this, I was gold and silver, still I believe diversify 100%. However, we are living in historical times of something that has never been created before. Yes. And we are literally in the very early stage of this. It's like a light bulb, kind of. Yes. So now, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. So God, universe blessed me with finding in Poland those YouTubers that I just absolutely had this electric shock listening to them. And I said to myself, I have to study this. And I just want to give a big shout out to someone who I came across. This is Polish YouTuber, #1 crypto channel in Poland. His name is Phil Konieczny. And I'm so grateful for this guy because he explains the most complicated things in such a great way that those of you who speak Polish, check it out down below. Anyway, Ashala, the longest intro, but I'm so excited to talk about this today with you. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Anya. I'm excited to talk about it too. It's always when we ask these questions together and there's the audience witnessing, it brings all their guidance and all their wisdom into the reading as well. So we can receive so much more potent insights this way.
Thank you so much. So I am very, very new in this field. However, I put one of my toes in it already, researching, getting some very basic information, but I got hooked on the subject. And at this point, what I am doing, I'm watching the cryptocurrency market. What is this doing? Now, I would like to talk, the first question is about Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is #1 cryptocurrency that is like, let's say, the gold of crypto, is this point of reference. So whatever happens to Bitcoin is affecting every other tokens, right? And on Monday, Bitcoin has reached the lowest point since, I don't know how long, but very long time, which was $32,000. Since then, it bounced up back. And now everyone is waiting if this will go higher or if this will go down again after this announcement today. So my question is, Ashala, to specify this, has Bitcoin reached its bottom this year with this 32K?
Okay. I started looking, but I'm going to reshuffle and lay out the cards again to answer that question specifically. I was kind of just gazing into what's going on, and yeah, I want to know the answer to that question. Has it reached its bottom, as you say? Yeah. It is so incredibly exciting, isn't it?
Yes, when you, honestly, I was like kind of pushing the subject away because I didn't understand it. And now I got so hooked on this. I just see enormous potential at this, enormous.
Okay, well, this is going to sound a little bit strange, but it feels like our consensus has a lot to do with that, like how we look at it, and that we want to look at best case scenarios, because it's almost like we are literally designing the future with these currencies. So if we're focused on, like, basically whichever way we want it to go, if we can focus as much as possible on that, we have this incredible power right now to shift these things with our thought forms. It's kind of interesting in a way. And one of the biggest shifts is moving away from systems of power and authority, power and dominance, where it doesn't matter what we think about the market. You know, I mean, obviously it matters what people do in terms of their investments, but we have had this sense that there's these overlords that are basically pulling the strings, and we can't do much about that. Whereas with crypto, it's like we can imagine and get more informed and lead these trends in whatever direction we want to go. So this card looks like, I want to say, like 6 months where we are seeing things, whatever goes on right now, it feels like in 6 months' time, things have blossomed. Things are in a much better place. And again, like I said, it's really important for us to lead with our desires, with our intentions, and not to see this market as something that is influenced by other forces and very volatile. It does feel as though the overlord agenda is trying to pull this market down, yeah, and manipulate with it. But it's a much bigger force because it's based on a new philosophy.
So do you see this bottom already reached, or there will be another one coming this year?
Let me just, I don't necessarily see it. I feel that there could be another one coming in the next 2 weeks even. And then it starts going up. So, great. Yeah.
That is great. And now let me share this with you, Ashala. Before that happened, okay, I remember the day exactly. It was last Saturday.
Yes.
All of a sudden, which is not really, because this is collective, exactly what you just said. This is the collective frequency. So we are communicating now on a very different frequency between one another. Yes. And I received this download of digits. And I literally saw this. It will go to 30. I put on my Instagram, so those who follow me, please do, please do. I actually put on the stories and I said, the Bitcoin will go, because I wanted to check if I'm accurate or if, you know.
Yes, yes.
And the Bitcoin will go down to 32. And then I saw it will bounce up pretty quickly to 72K after this. So my next question is, and what I would like to really know, are we going to see this year in 2022, Bitcoin reaching, let's do 100K. Let's do this.
Okay.
100K.
Let's look at it. I would think so. I would think so. By August. Yeah.
September, August.
August or September. Yeah, like 8 months from now.
Yes.
Yeah, we have this August, well, the Leo card, that's August, and 8 months. Here's the 8 of Pentacles.
Oh my goodness, Ashala.
Steady growth. Yeah.
Okay. So this is the last question specifically. No, actually, let's do this. Let's do this. I was thinking, you remember when they were creating this whole image opinion about Trump for a very long time? You remember?
Yes.
He's this, he's that, da 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 da, and it was this whole campaign, right? You know, Hollywood, everything. And something again came to me just very recently. Once I started to go into this crypto, I said, because I had, you know what I had, Ashala? I had this association with Bitcoin, like Bitcoin is dirty, Bitcoin is for human trafficking, Bitcoin is corrupted, la 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 la, all of this. And I'm like, where this opinion came? How did I build up my opinion, right? And
yes.
what I would like to ask you now, if you can look in your cards and see that negative, and I'm not saying that people didn't use it for those nefarious, like transitioning of money, so they did with the fiat currency, right?
Yes.
But I would like to know that opinion about Bitcoin that was so negative and so like, this is like a scam, this is not good. How you see how this was created, if this is really true or this was another manipulation?
Definitely it was behind the scenes hidden influence that created that belief that it was that. I mean, yeah, if you want to stop something, basically create this storyline around it. And like you say, it has a lot to do with these systems they can be maneuvered in different ways. And because we're dealing with things that are less and less tangible in the physical realm, they are, of course, more susceptible to being hijacked. And that's why it's so important that we continue to focus our attention on these alternative currencies with the utmost, integrity, and how we want to see them be part of a transition away from that old system. So they are going to try another smear campaign for sure. I've already seen signs of that coming up. All this stuff to do with cryptocurrency and how it's so corrupt. And we're going to see lots more of that coming down here in the next few weeks, even 2 or 3 months. And yet look at this in the big picture of things. There's so much good that can be done with this. We choose what direction to take it in. They're going to make it sound like it's so volatile and corrupt and, vulnerable and all this kind of stuff. But that is a version of, that is a perspective. And if we go that way, of course, our experience of it is going to be more and more like that. But I personally have heard of all kinds of incredible projects and really dynamic, new paradigm things that are being designed based on cryptocurrency and our ability to have these exchanges that are removed from that old system. So that alone is worth the investment. Whether or not we're making money that we can translate into dollars, we are entering into we're participating in this new method of exchange that is outside that system and in our hands, which is so lovely.
Yes. And isn't it they were and they still, like you're saying, they will continue to discourage and disempower us. Wow.
Yeah, that's like basically sending daggers at it nonstop. They're just going to keep trying to knock it down with propaganda. So now that we know that.
Yep. Okay, Ashala, let's ask this million question. Will Bitcoin be
Million Bitcoin question. Yeah.
Will Bitcoin reach $1 million? And if so, approximately time frame, let's say, like.
Wow, that's interesting.
You remember when I asked you a while ago, the gold for 15,000 by 2026, 25? Okay, so let's look by 26. If Bitcoin will be $1 million, which 1 million will be, you know, with inflation, probably like 700,000, but will it reach $1 million by 2026? Maybe I'm too specific, I don't know.
That's an interesting number that you picked.
Why is that?
Well, because just as I was flipping the cards, I saw the number 6, the 6 of Cups. We'll see if this comes up again. Okay, this is what I was expecting when I just glanced in there for a moment. Something's going to change between now and then. It feels like we're going to take this transitional system and we're going to use it to create something else. So I feel like by that time, this has transitioned into something new. Like by 2026, which is just 4 years from now, but if you think of what's happened in the last 4 years, oh my gosh, it's like, I think this system is going to be replaced. Now, I don't mean taken down by, you know, the dark forces. I mean that we're going to actually recreate it in a new way. It's going to be more diverse. It's going to be more accessible. So it will have transformed into something else by that time. Yeah, it's going to start to feel a little bit like it's gotten so big and so many people are involved that it wants to start to sort of like it's feeling top heavy or something, and it wants to be somehow, like the word is reformatted.
Is it more common? Would you say it will become more common? The
Yes.
Knowledge of it. Okay.
The knowledge will become more common, and the top down, because really we're trying to kind of move beyond this whole idea that there's some people that are going to make millions and, you know, billions, and they're going to be like living high on the hog, and the rest, you know, and a lot of the population will be really suffering. And it, you know, there just feels like it will naturally release at a certain point where it synthesizes into something new, which could be several new currencies that are really strong, really, you know, private, controlled by the people, the same kind of thing. So I feel like it kind of starts to move into something else that's quite intentional, where people say, well, let's turn this into a whole new economic system, which it already is heading in that direction. But I think there's going to be some real intelligent reformatting from some of the people that are, you know, maybe at the pioneering level of all of this.
So is there this $1 million value or no in this?
I feel like within a couple of years, I don't actually see it going all the way to $1 million. It just feels like it caps at a certain point, and then there's a desire on behalf of the people involved to turn it into something else. It becomes a foundation. That word foundation is there, which is actually about a new economic system. And yeah, you know, okay, so let's just say this. It feels like it gets to
995.
Yeah, like it gets pretty darn close, like that. And then it changes into something else, which is, if you look at numerology and the cyclical nature of it, that is actually beautiful for something that reaches the 9th stage to then re-emerge in a new way. Because yeah, that would indicate the 900,000.
So with this, and you literally just took me to this question with that.
Yeah.
You know, El Salvador is, I'm not sure if this is the first country, but one of the first countries that actually announced Bitcoin to be their legal tender, right? And,
yes.
And now this is just the beginning, because, and the president there, which is very much for it, and he's not putting up with all the demands and pressure from, you know, the banks, and remove this and remove that. No way, Jose. No way, Jose. My question is this, Ashala. I feel like there will be more and more countries doing the same move.
Yes.
And would you be able to look into this? How do you see that spreading throughout the world overall? You know, like how many countries and how fast? Because now the time is just like, you know, the energy moves so quickly. So who knows? Might be very fast.
It might be very fast.
I know, it's so excited. I'm so excited today. Like, I have no idea about.
I'm laughing because they're kind of like refusing to answer in the cards here. Yeah, I get the card where it's like, well, we're not going to tell you the answer to that exactly yet. You're not meant to know that quite yet, but we're definitely headed in the right direction with that thought. Absolutely. That, you know, the gift, the reward, and there is something about a lot more of the economy is based on generosity instead of greed, basically. So we are looking at, you know, people, instead of it being like, well, this is our nation's currency and like back off and, you know, we're looking after ourselves. There's a real desire to support other nations in developing their strength, because as we have, you know, a global, you know, conglomeration of these different nations that are all healthy and strong in their economy, well, then everything just flourishes. We're able to trade. We're able to, you know, open up to larger international projects, but also regional restoration. And I just feel like it's going to be less about have and have not, and more about sharing and creating health around the whole planet. So it's hard to say exactly what that looks like yet, but I did, when you first asked it, when I was looking at the earlier question, I was like, it's almost like that Bitcoin transforms into something more like different nation states economic systems. So that would indicate what you're saying is likely to start happening. It's going to be more organic, more grassroots. It's going to be more like based on regional restorative projects that then start to generate wealth for a country. And then, you know, that becomes well, now we use this currency. The wealth that we've generated from trading in this currency, it now becomes our new economic platform in that nation. So that's kind of what they're showing me, that it happens gradually and very organically. It's not this like, okay, let's design a system, but it is definitely, let's design a new way of looking at economic distribution, at looking at resource distribution. That feels like there's the people that are at the top of this system or have been working in it for a long time, they're really getting the metaphysics that is happening here. And they're going to see how we all benefit if these different areas flourish and the whole planet starts to heal. You know, it's not like an us and them, okay, we're gonna hoard over here and you guys fend for yourself. It's a lot more of this, like seeing that is also with trade. I feel like that's going to be instead of people being forced to trade in commodities that corporations have established in certain countries. They're going to be trading in the commodities and the resources that the actual local regional areas want to be involved in. So it's shifting away from that corporate dominant system where a few people are skimming all the cream off the top, and it's but it isn't a socialist system, because that's still centralized authority. You see, that's what crypto gives us. It's different from all these other things. It gives us the authority is widely distributed. Everyone is making their own decisions and choices. There's a lot of room to maneuver using the same playing chips, you know? So
this is, I mean, it just came to me when you were saying this about almost, it's like Bitcoin is this very original, I don't know what word to use, structure,
like
concept, blockchain, right? It's like this, right. And then you have this like a tree, and then you have those branches. But then this makes sense, because if there's only 21 million Bitcoins, it's like limited number, as much as I know, right? So that will make sense if there, well, who knows, like a variation of it built on it, maybe.
Yes.
That people will utilize. But you know, Ashala, two more questions, because this is all again connected. There is another currency, cryptocurrency, which is called Ethereum. And this is number two, which is at this point, what is it like? Bitcoin now is around 38,000 when it bounced up back, and Ethereum is like around 26 or so. However, there is a huge potential in that cryptocurrency. What I would like to ask, if this Ethereum will reach $15,000 this year. Because those two are the most, I would say, everyone I listen to from those people who know crypto, they say that altcoins you have to be careful with. So only Bitcoin and Ethereum are those two that you actually, how to say, I wouldn't say safe, more safe, secure, I don't know, but
3 months maybe. I've got 3 threes in here. Yeah.
For real? 15K in 3 months? What?
It's definitely, there's definitely a rapid motion here. What I'm hearing also is, just to a side note about this coin, is that it feels like the guys are saying it's the working man's coin. Like it's the coin that you trade for services.
It's like silver. Yeah, like Bitcoin is gold and Ethereum is like silver.
Yeah, yes, exactly. It's the trading coin for service. It's very it stays very healthy because of that. I guess maybe what I'm seeing is that there's certainly a potential for it to grow really fast. But then also, like right now, we see this, you know, some disruption with it. So I think if we, instead of looking at it as an investment coin, to look at it as a trading coin more than, like it still feels like Bitcoin is the investment coin. And this one seems as though it could have more highs and lows and volatility, but it is a good trading coin. Yeah,
wow,
I don't even know what it's at right now. So that's pretty outrageous. 3 months is outrageous.
Yeah, it's below 3,000 now, Ashala. It's around 2,600.
And do you know, Anya, has it fluctuated a lot over the years?
Yeah. So, well, it was, you know, just recently, the last week was like bananas. So it went, I'm not sure if it was in a week, but it was for quite some time was 3,500, I remember, 3,400. And then it went down 2,400, something like that. Yeah.
Well, I think if people are wanting to get involved with a coin that they're going to, this is what I'm doing with it. If they want to get involved with a coin that they're going to be using as a trade coin, you know, where they're buying and selling in that, this is a really good one for that. And then, you know, it does, even though it can go through these highs and lows, you're like, well, it still has value, and I'm still using it as a currency to exchange goods and services or whatever. And then that it rides through those things, and it stays integral.
You
It's
know,
almost
Ashala,
like, you know, this is interesting. Sorry, Anya, I just want to say it's almost like these coins, because of their creation and their inception, that they actually have like an energy. Each of them has like an energy to it. And so they fulfill different roles on that market. And like this one does, it's almost like it's saying, you know, please don't lean on me as an investment coin. I wasn't designed for that. I'm the working man's coin. Let's keep it real here. It's just funny. But it does feel like it will go to these lows, and then it will like recover and do really well.
It's so funny, because I had image when you were saying this. You know what I saw? I saw Bitcoin is like this socialite, and then you have the worker Ethereum. Oh my goodness.
But at the end of the day, you know, Ethereum is the one that's going to get the job done. So yeah.
The gardener in this fancy garden. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So
the word healthy, comes up, like that you want to see it as a healthy trading coin.
You know what? I wanted to tell you this. There is this company I buy silver and gold from in United States, Money Metals Exchange. And I just want to mention this because there are so many places who already accept Bitcoin as the form of payment. So even like, you know, on their website, you can see we accept Bitcoin. So people can actually, and this will be more and more common. It's not like—
I'm in the process right now of working with my tech support person to get it set up on my website.
There we go. Yeah. Reading, paid in Bitcoin. Fantastic. Right. I love it.
Yep.
So Ashala, the last question today, and I'm so grateful because today we did like a little marathon with questions, but the last one is, when will American dollar collapse?
Yes.
So what's gonna happen to American dollar? This is pretty much the question. When is the end of the story?
Okay, well, this is going to be kind of an interesting answer. I don't know exactly what it means, but it's like it's already collapsed. The Wheel of Fortune upside down in the past, it's like it's already collapsed. And it's already been sort of, I don't know, it's already been turned into something else. So it's like we're going to find out later on that already happened.
They are faking it now, right? They are faking it.
Yeah. And that it's actually, whatever we're dealing with now, again, I just keep seeing that I don't see this big, even though that there's a lot of fear going on around that, I don't see this big blow up, you know, crash. I see more of a gradual transition. This is a fantastic card. When you say, when will it crash or fall? Six of Pentacles is like the card of generosity and reciprocity, meaning it will somehow hold its own through this, but it isn't what it used to be. The old one is already gone. So we're going to know more about that down the road, is what I'm getting.
Do you see Ashala in that layout? Is there like a new form of dollar introduced that is backed by gold? Because I'm trying to think how they're gonna replace this. You know, can I just say this?
It could already have happened, or it could already be happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you know what? can you believe that every third dollar in United States that is in circulation is from the fresh print of the last 2 years? Yeah. Can you believe this? Every third dollar. So what are we, like, inflation, this is like, what are we saying? Like this has no more value.
And that's what I mean. It's already gone. So what we're working with now is something new that we just don't know about yet, is what I'm seeing. And it's there to help us transition out of the old economic system, basically. Again, I get this feeling that there's actually a recovery already in place, a recovery plan, if that makes sense. It's already, and we will go back years down the road and look back at this phase and realize what all that was happening behind the scenes to support this transition. So it's, you know, stay focused on what you want, stay focused on knowing that, like, it's almost like reducing our dependency till we don't need it anymore. That it becomes obsolete, basically. Yep. So I don't see it necessarily crashing. I see it fulfilling its role of kind of, you know, being good enough. Like, it may lose value, but it's not going to fall entirely. It's going to just get us through this phase. Like it's been propped up to do that or something, is what I'm getting.
But then all of this comes down to what's going to happen with all the banks, you know, like the Federal Reserve scam and all of that, because this is the symbol, this is the representation of them, pretty much. So if we're gonna replace it with crypto, because you see, I was like, this really makes sense, Ashala. Gold, like every generation, right, has a has its like a symbol of stability. Like gold was for quite a long time, but now I think gold will always hold a certain value. But like you said, there's energy behind the cryptocurrencies, and I think the frequency of that energy is very different behind gold than is behind Bitcoin or Ethereum. Like the movement of it, like that's why the transactions, the motion, even like how we operate with this.
Yes, definitely. And it's like, here, I've got these two cards side by side. It's sort of like it's crashing, or already gone. It's almost like the guides are saying it fell over in the night and got, you know, replaced with something else. And we wake up in the morning and we're like, oh, everything's fine. You know, it's like we don't know what happened in the night. But what's most important is that we are concentrated on the new. And like you said, this is a frequency. This is a new way of looking at economics, at currency, at exchange, at finances. It's a much healthier way of looking at it. And so the more like systems like cryptocurrency, where that, you know, the power to choose how we navigate those systems is in our own hands. And there's a lot more freedom and flexibility in those systems. It just almost makes you realize that's what a cash system could have been. But because it was being dominated and controlled by these, you know, dark forces, it could never flourish in that way.
No, and it was printed out with the concept already having depth on the top of it.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
It's just when you have this energy, this intention behind it, how this can ever be long lasting and sustaining, it's impossible.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
Ashala, I just want to say that today, for the first time, I will watch my own video probably 2 or 3 times, because you gave so much information today. I'm gonna take notes from all what you just said, because you know what, this is so important right now. I think it's so important, and I'm just gonna plug into this Jerome Powell and his story, his script that he's gonna present a script tonight. How is the next cut for this movie unrolling? And I it's like, it's see what's gonna happen, because we truly are living. And I realized this, you know, like recently I was walking on the streets here in Poland, and I like, look at these people, those, you know, older generation, and people who lived all their lives without internet, pretty much, without cell phones, pretty much. And now I'm thinking, those people will not be able to understand what is crypto, how to use this, how to do this, because simply, it's, some of them are really like in another dimension, like
they are. And I know the people that I know that are involved in, you know, setting up different currencies in the crypto blockchain world are, you know, they're thinking about things like that. There's lots of really ethical people that are involved in this movement, and they're thinking about ways to make this accessible for elders, for people who are marginalized, you know. And so that alone, like, that we have the freedom to do that. We have, you know, as a populace, we can vote with where we invest in crypto. You know, there's so many options. It's not like this system that, as you say, is already, the whole thing has been rigged from the beginning. And I see like cryptocurrencies being used to set up, you know, foundations and charities, and to do charitable work in the world. And they're backed by resources like, you know, hemp and stuff like that, like where we're actually looking at ways to support some of these new paradigm industries that are going to restore balance on our planet. And we're using that in the cryptocurrency marketplace and economics. So we can literally reformat this in any way we want. I mean, obviously, as you said before, some people are going to use this in nefarious ways. There's always going to be that element. But let's try to focus on all the freedom and mobility and opportunity and choice this gives us.
You know, I am so grateful that I was able to connect with you today, that my electricity worked today, by the way, everyone, because last week I had a little explosion. I plugged the lamp and I'm like, I'm ready for this. But it was, Ashala was like, no, and I was pushing, no, I have the light, let's do it. And Ashala, no, I'm busy, which was great, because I had 1 more week of observing this, learning more, and seeing Bitcoin going to 32K. And I'm like, getting this download, and I said, no wonder, because we were meant to talk about this today before this Federal Reserve announcement. So Ashala, thank you.
And like you, Anya, I'm going to go back and watch it, because as I said earlier, you know, this, what we are able to explore in this really almost like sacred way, working with these tools, is because of your energy, your intentions, your questions, and also the collective and what they're witnessing and holding in their hearts. And that allows me to go in such a powerful way and receive these insights. So thank you to all of you watching as well.
And thank you to you, Ashala. Please, everyone, check if you haven't checked already, and subscribe to Ashala's channel. The link is down below. And there's her website. She does the readings soon. You can pay with Bitcoin.
Yes.
Thank you so much for watching, everyone. And yeah, we have to watch this video again to get some very interesting insights, what to do next. And this is not financial advice, one more time. So you're the master of your own boat, everyone.
Definitely.
Thank you.